are 5 things to watch out for in the budget, which is on the 3rd of March. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Should we start with number 1, which is stamp duty? You'll see our video that we released 3 weeks ago just up here, so you might want to check that out first. But our first major prediction, over to you, Helen, is
as well, if you check out that video, you'll see that we reported a mirror headline a couple of weeks ago that the stamp duty deadline is to be extended, and we are even surer that that's going to happen.
Yes, it's by 3 months as well, so it's massive for our economy, isn't it?
It really is, and it's going to let the people that are in the middle of conveyancing, it's going to give them time to get those deals through.
Yeah. What do you say is the main thing? Why is Rishi going to be extending this, Hels? What's he trying to do?
I think the whole budget is going to be expansionary. I think it's about keeping that money circulated, being a stimulation package. You know, everything's been locked down so much, so long, businesses clamped down, you know, incomes are a bit, you know, kind of in jeopardy. So it's going to be about expansionary. And if that deadline of the stamp duty came in, that cliff edge on the 31st of March, it would quash. It would really quash all that momentum that has built up in the property market. So I think he probably wants to keep that going and at least give people time to get that stuff through.
It's like spending our way out of this pandemic, because you know, the one thing is that we spent a hell of a lot of money on this, and we've got a massive deficit that we need to pay back. So there will be a few shockers in there that we're going to go through. So stamp duty, yeah, if you want more about what we were talking about, then check out the video above. Is there anything else you want to say on that?
It's a great video to check out, because we also talk about we go through how it was debated in Parliament, so you can hear kind of the arguments that people put forward and kind of the different ways of extending it as well. So do check that out.
So number 2 is business rates. Hel, what do you reckon? What's going to be happening?
Well, there is a holiday due to end at the end of April on those. At the moment, it's just for retail and leisure, right?
And hospitality, yeah.
Hospitality. Yeah. So again, like the point is that Rishi wants to keep this, you know, keep this going, keep the momentum going. So there's a strong possibility of an extension on that holiday as well.
I think that's a no-brainer, because he's not going to ask people to pay business rates on businesses he's not allowing to open. So, you know, that has to be kind of 100% given, you know, that they are going to extend that.
Yeah, if there's no money coming in, how can you tax somebody on no money coming in? There's other ways that we're going to go on to talk about. There's other ways of getting taxes in, you know, that are much easier, quicker wins.
So number 3, going on to that, number 3 is corporation tax. Hel, what do you reckon to that?
I mean, again, he wants to keep businesses supported, but for where, you know, not all businesses are suffering. And I think actually there's been a remarkable amount of resilience in the business community. So it's definitely a possible, you know, even if he doesn't increase corporation tax, then what he can do as an alternative to fiddling with any of the amounts or the rates, he can change the allowances.
Yeah.
And arguably, if he wants to sneak in a bit more tax from somewhere else, he just reduces those allowances, because that's less headline grabbing. So watch for those in all these different areas.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think this is where we disagree a little bit, because I think he's going to put up corporation tax for companies that are outside kind of the hospitality, leisure industries, you know, for those businesses that have been booming essentially. So
he could do it in a targeted way. But again, like, why would you increase tax if you're trying to keep the economy stimulated? So I'm less sure about that one.
Yeah. So number 4 is on our favourite, which is CGT. What do you reckon, Hel?
I mean, this has been widely talked about. It's widely speculated that's a real easy win, and to be increased, because, as we said, you can't tax somebody that's got no income, but a corporation, a capital gains tax, by its very nature, is a tax on a profit. You only pay capital gains once you're selling something that has a profit.
Yeah.
So it's an easy one. And again, he might mess with the allowances on that.
I think we're definitely, I mean, you know, he doesn't like property investors. It's not that he doesn't like property investors. He's not going to do anything for us, right?
No.
So we have to be prepared. I know a lot of us have been prepared. I've sold a property in the last 6 months that I needed to sell before this budget comes through, because I'm convinced that CGT for sales of homes is going to go up, and it's going to be much more comparable to income tax. So, I mean, I think you've got to look at it. Why wouldn't he do that? Why wouldn't he? If I've got multiple properties and I sell one and I make a huge profit, why is he only taking 28%? You know, why is that? I mean, why not take 50? I don't know.
Yeah. It's an easy win, and certainly, you know, property people, landlords, etc. They're politically kind of safe, aren't they?
Yeah.
Politically popular move to
it would be.
General, so.
It's the vote winner, that is, not from the property community.
No, but
yeah, I mean, the knock-on effect of that, what do you think it would be, Hels?
Sorry,
the knock-on effect of increasing CGT.
I think whenever there's like a substantive change like that, you see people start to explore other ways of not getting around, but how can they you know, maneuver,
mitigate attacks?
Yeah, you know, like everybody started moving from kind of their own having companies properties in their own name to incorporating those kind of portfolios because of the changes in tax and the reductions in the allowances, right? So
I think also, you know, if my property, if I've got to pay a much higher rate rather than 28%, I'll be looking at holding those for life and then passing them on in inheritance tax. So
you see, I mean, it depends when he introduces it. If it's an immediate introduction, then there's no time to react. If it's something that's going to be introduced, you know, and all these things don't necessarily take place or are implemented immediatly. So there might be a window. If there's a window, you're going to see a whole lot of people trying to get out of some,
get rid of their
offload stuff quick.
Yeah, I suppose there'll be a knock on to the rental markets as well. You know, I mean, it does have a massive knock-on effect to all different parts of, you know, our community. So, okay, that's good. So there's number 5. I mean, do we think there's any kind of good little sprinklings of magic that are going to come out?
I really, honestly, I'm like slightly upbeat, which makes a refreshing change for me.
Yeah, it does.
I think there is going to be something. I think, like in the summer where they did the Eat Out to Help Out, you know, they are trying to get people spending. How do you get them doing that? You make them feel richer and you keep that feel good factor. I think they're going to want more of this as we start opening up again. I think they want to keep that feel good factor and encouraging people. And so I think there is, I don't know what they're going to be, but I think there might be a couple of nice little surprises. Personally, I'd like to see some money off a bottle of gin or gin and tonics.
And what would you call that, Helen? What would you call that? Drink out to help out, wasn't it?
Exactly. Drink out to help out. Yeah, that's a vote winner.
That's brilliant. I think there'll be a little bit of sprinkling of magic there too. I think that I know a lot of people are saying he's going to put a few pence onto the price of a glass of wine or a pint of beer, but I think he might just take that off as a little kind of get yourself out there, you know, go and get yourself a pint of lager and a glass of wine, get yourself back into the pubs, get yourself back into the communities, you know.
I mean, cigarettes and alcohol are the standard ones that are the easy kind of, you know, easy ones to tax, aren't they? But exactly, I think there'll be something kind of novel. I really do. I think they like you know, they want to stay kind of popular, they want to win some votes, and they want to keep that feel good factor going. So yeah, I think there's going to be some sprinkle of magic, as you say.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you ever so much, Helen. Another pleasure to interview you, and please don't forget to subscribe and like our video, hit the notification button, and, you know, looking forward to the budget on the 3rd of March. So see you later, guys.